All right, so there was a problem that we can only work with two conditions, right? Either this condition is true, then we have a body to execute. If this condition is false, then we have else body to execute. But there is no third way or there is no fourth way at all. So let's talk about that third and fourth way. Okay. So here I'm gonna say if, again, let's have a number. Okay. So number is gonna be, for now, let's go with 7. Okay. So if number is greater than, let's say 5 is the benchmark. If number is greater than 5, then we are going to print the same thing. So let me copy this thing. Okay. So entering into the body with indentation. Don't forget the indentation. And then so far, what we were doing is else. We were saying number is. So if it is greater than 5, then print number is greater than 5. Else, print number is smaller than 5. But the case is number can be 5 as well, and there is no possibility over here so far to cater this condition. Okay. There is another thing. So far we have learned two things, if and else. There is a third thing called else if. Okay. So here I can say elif. Elif is a short form of else if, right? By using elif, we can add as many more conditions as we want. What do I mean by that? For example, here I'm saying if number is greater than 5, then print number is greater than 5. Else if, I'll say if number is equals to 5, okay, then print number is equal to 5. Now, what actually happens? Let's dry run this thing first. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, let's dry run it first. Dry run means without executing, let's run it in our mind first. What will happen? First of all, number is 5. Okay, this condition is true or false? You tell me. This is false. Why? Because number is 5. So 5 is not greater than 5. So this body is going to be ignored. Okay, fine. It will come to this condition, this whole condition. Okay. Now, since this condition has another comparison operator, so it will go into it. So it will ask if number is equal to 5. Yes, number is equals to 5 because number was 5. So 5 is equals to 5. So it will go out and print its body. Now, here is the important thing to note. This whole thing is one structure. Okay. If, else. This whole thing is one structure. Out of this whole structure, at max, there can only be one body that will be executed. Let me repeat. Out of the whole structure, right now we have 3 conditions over here. If, else if, and then else. We have 3 bodies over here. At max, one body can be executed, right? For example, if this condition is true, then this body will be executed and remaining whole condition will be ignored. Right now, in our case, this condition is true. So this body was ignored. This condition is true. So this body will be executed. And in that case, else part will be ignored, right? Maybe in any case, for example, if it is not 5, if it is 10, if it is 2, now this is false. This is ignored. Body is ignored. This is false. Body is ignored. Now, since both of them are ignored, so else is usually called default case, since here it has no condition. So if it has reached, the code has reached to the else part, then it means that it is not going to check any condition. This is the default part. So this body is surely going to execute it. So let me make it 5 and run it. So here it says number is equal to 5. Where is number is equal to 5? Here, which means that this body is ignored. This body is also ignored. Why? Because only this condition was true. Okay. Now, in any case, for example, let's say we have something like this. Okay, where number is greater than or equal to 5, then this should be executed. Okay. Now you might be wondering in your mind, this condition is true. And this condition is also true for given number 5, okay? Number equals to 5. In this case, what will happen? The first true condition will be executed. For example, this condition is true since it says number is greater than or equal to 5. Since or equals to 5 is going to be true, so this body is going to be executed. And since this body is going to be executed, rest of the whole structural thing is going to be ignored. Let me run it. Here we go. Right? So number is greater than 5. Why? Because this was true. Although this was also true, but since execution starts from top to bottom, and wherever it will find one true condition, it will ignore the whole structure out of it. Right? Well, you can have multiple structures, independent structures. For example, this is one structure. Here, we can have another structure that will say if num equals to 5, then print, or whatever. In that case, this is an independent structure. And this is another independent structure. Okay. In that case, if this is true, okay, then this whole thing will not be ignored. Only this part will be ignored. Why? Because this is one structure. This is an independent structure. Its execution, its ignorance, its conditions, everything is independent of the structure above it. Right? So I hope this thing is clear. Now, there can be a question, how many else if part or elif part can be added? For example, how many elif conditions can be added? The answer is you can add as many elif conditions as you want. Here, we needed only 3. If you need 100, 300, or 3000 else if conditions, you can add those many else if conditions. For example, like this. I can do it like this. Okay. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 conditions over here. Right? So what will happen? For example, hypothetically speaking, if this is true, it will ignore first body. It will check out for the second condition. Sorry. If this is false, then it will ignore the first body. It will check out for the second condition. If second condition is true, it will execute second condition and all of the rest of the conditions will be ignored. Right? So principle is going to be the same. Only thing which has changed is now there are more number of conditions to be checked. Clear? Let me get back to the correct code. Cool. Great. So go ahead and try to create not hypothetical, but try to create some scenarios in your mind and try to code those scenarios that are in your mind. Try to generate questions and then try to code those questions. And if you are not able to generate questions in your mind, don't worry, because in next video, you will find the assignment.